All right. Here we are, live. Looks like 4 of you made it. Okay. Somebody jump into the YouTube chat and let me know that the audio is working. So this is going to take 3 devices for me to accomplish. I'm going to video stream with you guys on my laptop, which I'm doing. I'm going to watch the video that I posted to you guys on my tablet, and I'll be pausing along the way. Hopefully, good. Thanks, Gavin. Appreciate it. Commo check is good. And then I'm going to pause along the way, and I'm going to give you guys like certain times, like, hey, at 1 minute 15, look at this. And that will allow you to kind of sync what you're seeing in or what you saw in the video that you guys should have probably already screened. So if you have multiple devices, I would suggest bringing up video 1 as well. And that way you can back it up and watch what I'm talking about. So until I get high-speed video, whatever, where, you know, video editing, like not an idiot gunfighter, where I can have me talking and the video side by side, and the shit will be like all awesome, like, you know, some kind of, you know, grand thumb level video editing shit. You know, that's why I ain't got 100,000 followers, because my technical abilities and the amount of time that I have to invest in video editing to increase the production quality is simply not there. Fortunately, you patrons are awesome, and you're here for the content, not for necessarily the quality. This isn't eye candy, you know, high speed IG stuff. Having my microphone here helps out a lot. I do know that listening to audio with really shitty quality, it detracts from the message. So I've got the no, I'm not going to do Coach Eye. But the audio quality is what matters the most. So this is going to kind of be shaky. You're going to need to watch the video. If you can't watch and watch me, then you're going to have to take notes and be like, all right, Chuck said at 112, I need to see this. And then after I'm done, go back, boot up your YouTube, watch the other video, whatever. And then the last thing is I'm going to pull up the link to the results of the match or whatever, so that I'll be able to give you guys easily definable metrics. Like, hey man, I shot this in this stage in 27 seconds. Okay, what does that mean? Well, then I'll be able to pull up the dude that won that stage, or what the overall grandmaster that won the match. He didn't really win the match. Some pistol caliber carbine guy won the match, but whatever. The second place dude did actually win it with a handgun, and the dude's a GM. So I'll be able to pull up that dude's score and be like, all right, best in the pack, 74 dudes out here today. Grandmaster, he shot what you guys just saw in this many seconds, and this is what the marksmanship effects of that were, because that's a huge thing. People think that being slow is automatically going to be about improper stage planning or bad movement or lollygagging on your draw, lollygagging on your gun handling. All of that's true. But you guys have got to understand that slow is sometimes aiming your freaking gun. And it's that whole thing of the follow through, the sights, the trigger prep if necessary, the marksmanship aspect. Some of these guys were able to compress the integrated active firing, and some of those guys didn't. They were playing the rules of the game that were set out, and that is accuracy will get you this far. There's a raw time that's thrown out there, and I am not going to take the time to do what I need to do in the integrated active firing, because it is going to hurt me on my ability to get finished with this stage. And that's going to be a common aspect. I taking too much time to shoot people based upon the metrics of what success looks like in this process and in the rules that are established in the game that I've chosen to play. I chose to play this game. Nobody put a gun in my head and said, you must compete, Chuck. I chose to go out there and play by these rules that I'm still trying to figure out, right? I could throw up my hands and say, the USPSA rules changed effective 1st of January of 19, and there's a new book out. Yeah, I didn't know the old rules either. Unless somebody like Voigt or Miklik or somebody else, you know, the culture at my old organization where we set up run and gun stages, we used IPSC and USPSA style rules. I've shot from a shooting box before. I understand what an ABC and a hit factor are, kind of, sort of. Not so much the hit factor. We just didn't like doing the math. We would assign time penalties, half second to your time, full second to your time based on C's or D's or whatever. And that just allowed us to do a factored raw score, fastest time wins. So there's a steep learning curve there, you know. At some point, at some level, and I need to figure out what that level is, how can I be more efficient, moving, looking at stages, looking at stuff, figuring out stuff? How can I do the things that I want to change to make myself a better overall shooter, and the things that competitors say make you better for just being good with a gun? Cops that also compete says, yeah, competing makes me a better, you know, it's going to keep me from getting killed in the streets because I'm a better marksman than all of my peers. Those are all accurate things. So I got to figure out how much practice, repetition, whatever, planning, how much of the game do I need to embrace to get the benefits that I want out of it before I have to sell my soul? And when I say sell my soul, the guy that won the match through 36 C's and 3 Ds, that is roughly 25% of the rounds that he fired out of his weapon yesterday would not have had any effect in a gunfight to the outcome of that gunfight. They would not have physiologically stopped an opponent. They wouldn't have. 25% of his rounds would not have dropped an opponent in a gunfight. None. But the dude won. The dude beat me by 40 seconds on the match. His time was 80. Mine was 83. Mine was 120. He was 30% faster. Faster. So now I got to look at the big dog, the Grandmaster, and be like, all right, how much of that's because he ran better, he stage planned better, he had faster reloads, he had a better one-shot draw, all those things I want to improve. How much of that 40 seconds can I get closer to the big dog? And how much of that 40 seconds was, and he moved out? That I won't do. That I will not do. So when he's sticking his hand through portals and raking a Charlie on either side of the A box and running out there, he's making a conscious decision to win. To win. He's not a bad guy. It's not the end of the world. Not going to get killed in the streets as long as he realizes that reaching in and doing that is going to, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice. So how much of that 40 seconds can I shave and still have direct applicability to carrying a gun in a duty style capacity? And that's the conundrum. Can I make master without totally losing my shit? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe if I'm just going to be stubborn, I'm not going to do that. It's all A's or nothing. Maybe I'll never get out of B class. I don't know. So, you know, the tail of the tape is what it is. I was the most accurate shooter out of 74 shooters. I dropped 2 Charlies. I had no deltas and no mics out of a 138 round match. But my reward for doing that was that I placed 46th out of 74 people overall, including the pistol caliber carbines. So not even 50%, like lower half of the pack was the cost of doing business. And I don't even know, I don't know how bad 80 points down on a single stage really is. Like, so if we take out the penalty, the penalty thing, I think I still sucked with the metrics of the game. I was just listening. I had a really good carry optics guy, a solid carry optics dude. I don't know if he was a master class or whatever. I need to go back and look at the squad and see what that cat's stats were. But he was shooting carry optics good. It was an X5 and 320 X5 with I think probably a SIG dot on it or whatever. And it was brand new. He hadn't broke the gun in, and it did have some mechanical problems. But my man was good. He was good. It was impressive to watch him shoot. I liked it. I had some open in my group, and open dudes are either going to be really awesome or they're going to be like, when we talk about you're using your equipment as a crutch. Yeah, the dude doesn't shoot. He bought a $8,000 setup because he's a dentist, and you can just tell his human performance, his gun man to machine interface, his target, and his speed, like all of them reflect that it's just a hobby. He's just out here to have fun, and he wants to have the best equipment out there or whatever. And that is when you hear, okay, so on the internet, you got to be careful about applying every negative thing that somebody says that's kind of open-ended towards you. Like, oh, they're talking about me. They're talking about me. I mean, are there some people that think that because I carry a Roland Special that it's a crutch? Yeah, probably. But they're probably talking about fanboys or whatever from the internet that are buying a pistol and can't even shoot a stock Glock good. So using your equipment as a crutch or whatever, that comment, just because you have high-end equipment, it doesn't necessarily mean they're talking about you. If your performance is commensurate, where you are outperforming stock equipment and you're upgrading to get instant mechanical advantage, that's going to result in increased performance. Misha, it's the UPS guy. He's dropping off some Surefire. Calm the fuck down. So then that's what, Misha, stop. That's what you got going on, right? That's what you got going on. So I'm learning a lot about life and stuff and where I want to go with this sport and what I want to do with it or whatever. So, yeah, well, I didn't know that every shot out of the, well, first off, I didn't know it was out of the box. Secondly, I didn't know that Gavin says, depending on the round count and the target types and a bunch of other whatever, but generally even 10 points down is pretty much game over for being competitive. And I dropped 80 in that stage because I fired 8 shots out of the box. We'll talk about it in that video. I don't want to get into it too much, but, and it was stupid. It was stupid. When you think line fault, I think like, okay, they put this board here and they put this barricade here and they want your foot to be here so that you have to lean out really hard to make it a harder shot. So if you step out to keep your base good and to give yourself a squared up shot, you're cheating on the way that the stage was designed, right? Dude, I literally had nothing in between me and the targets and no change in balance or shift in body position. I had my feet like this, and I normally like to shoot my feet like this. And I slid my foot sideways and went out of the backside of a box. I was facing 90 degrees shooting at the 180. And I slid my firing leg out to get a little bit of a wider base, and I stepped just outside of the box and then cranked off 8 shots. And they were the first 8 shots of the stage. And then I ran the entire stage to include 3 plate racks. And they were like, all right, yeah, pretty good. Hey, man, come back here. You fired all of these rounds out of the box. It's like, I don't even know what that means. And I shouldn't have. It was one of the few times I tried to accept mediocrity. I shouldn't have even fired 8 rounds because it was a pair. And yeah, I had the only bad draw of the whole day. Glass is there, no dot. I think I see a frontside post in there somewhere. The sun was coming up over the side berm because I was facing to the 90. And I cranked them, and I was close enough to the target that I saw like Charlie Delta. And I slewed it over Charlie Delta, and then I found the dot, and I burned them back the other way, alpha, 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 alpha. So I fired 8 shots on an engagement that if I had drawn properly, I would have only been 40 points down. So, F you for firing when you couldn't see your dot, and F you times 2 for an additional 4 shots, And if I had wanted to like refine my sight picture and shoot that target some more, the points would have just keep going up. So, yeah, got to read that rule book. Got to see what's in there. Bet you some important information in the USPSA rule book. Probably need to read that. Okay, so let me bring up the practice score. And all right, so some PCC cat shot. Well, obviously the winner always shoots 100. He shot 597 points with a total time of 83.52 seconds. That's for all 6 stages. 86.65 possible something. He's also a GM, and he's a senior, and he was shooting PCC. And he got himself 116 alphas, 19 Charlies, 2 deltas, and a mic. My man, number 2, which we will call number 1, not to take anything away from my old dude with the rifle. He did it in 79.93, so 80 seconds flat. And he had a score of 578. Guys, I don't know what half these metrics mean. I'm reading them out for those of you that are shooting competition enthusiasts because they'll mean something to you that they don't mean to me. 83.86%. He was shooting open. He's a GM. Of course, he was shooting open major. My man shot 101 alphas. Sorry, I took a couple Charlies away from him, or gave him a couple extra Charlies he didn't deserve. He shot 101 alphas, 34 Charlies, 3 deltas. So that's my man. That's the rabbit. Okay, that's the rabbit. Everybody else chasing the rabbit. So, Mr. Grandmaster. Okay. All right. I'll play your game. I'm coming for you. It'll be a minute. And then all the way down here, I was number 46 at 59.4%. I got a 358 score, 120 seconds total time, possible percentage 51.47. I'm unclassified, shooting open minor with 136 alphas and 2 Charlies. Okay. So now we will go to that stage. To do that, I will need to open up the old style results on HTML. Bay 3. By the way, this stage was called "This Is Fucked Up." So that's Pat Rogers would say that's what we call a clue. No. Actually, I did okay on this stage. For it being the first stage, I did okay. I placed 19th overall out of the whole pack. So, I mean, not too bad. I went back and looked. The last USPSA match of any kind that I shot was May of last year, and it was a local club match. It was the only USPSA match I shot last year, and it was an indoor, just a little indoor thing, 2 hour, 3 stage dealio. Last outdoor match that I shot was Best of the West multi-gun in 2011. It was the last time that I actually got out on the field, and I shot a stock Glock 17 that I borrowed from Duke. For those of you guys that know Duke from Light Fighter, Righteous Duke Designs, I went over and spent New Year's with him, and we shot the match right after New Year's. And he loaned me an AR with a micro and a stock Glock 17, and I shot that match. But that was still when I was like way on my game. So I did pretty good in that one as well. So anyway, I haven't done this in a while. So the number one guy on the stage was Carry Optics dude. And he's a masterclass guy. And he got 151 points with no penalties. He shot the stage that we're about to see in 20 seconds with a 7.5 hit factor. And he got 155 stage points. Okay. I shot it in. I got 155 stage points. He got 151. And I shot it in 28.5 seconds. So 8 seconds slower than that guy. My hit factor was 5.4584. Is that right? No, 5.4253. I got 112 stage points and placed 72% on the stage percentile. So that's the video we're about to watch. And I will tell you that my stage planning was off. I watched that video and I see how I did some stuff as far as stopping, refusing to shoot on the move. It wasn't even so much the aiming part. My pairs were coming okay. I dropped a Charlie and that I did not see. I can't tell you which target it came from, but I dropped a C and didn't find out about it till later. I thought I was running the stage clean or running the match clean, and I picked up a Charlie somewhere in this first video and didn't see it. I think this is the highest that I placed on a stage in the standings the whole match. So it kind of just went downhill from here. But anyway, let's watch the video and talk about it real quick. Oh, let me preface this AAR process. If you watch that video, you're probably thinking like, man, there's a lot of data points that are missing. It's showing Chuck shooting, but you can't see how far away the targets are that he's shooting or whether he's shooting steel or whatever. My wife was using my iPad tablet, my Samsung. She's never been to a match before. She has no idea what anything is going on, and she was afraid to move. She was afraid to move forward, staying behind the safety and trying to work the angles and get field of view where you could see what I was shooting over my shoulder and then adjust as I was adjusting on the 180. It was beyond her her skill set based on her knowledge and experience. And she just didn't want to create an unsafe event. She asked me for guidance, and I gave her some basic guidance of, yeah, as long as you stay behind the safety, you're good. But she didn't know what I wanted this video for and what the video needed to capture. She got no wide angle views of the entire stage for you guys to kind of set the scene for what I was going to be doing. So any criticism that you guys have of the video is mine and mine alone, because I didn't give her proper guidance. She could not execute what I wanted her to do for me because I didn't tell her what she needed to do for me. So I was frustrated when I was seeing some of the video. I was frustrated yesterday anyway. Yesterday was a bad day. I went in a fucking dark hole. So she was just trying to not poke the bear. And I started being critical about, honey, look, you can't even see the target that I'm shooting right there. You know, and all she would have had to do is just move the tablet. I also didn't take into account her filming on the tablet and the sun glare and the fact that she couldn't even see the screen to see what was in the field of view and what wasn't. So I'm a piece of shit husband. And we got piece of shit video, but this is what we got. You know, people solve murders and shit with corners of surveillance cameras and angles and missing all that. And detectives still managed to put that together. So we're going to detect some shit today, and we're going to figure out what happened on this stage. All right, now let me start.
Okay, I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. So are you going to practice for March?
I'm being real slow and deliberate on my load and make ready, because I am terrified of that holster. Terrified of it. Okay, first, I just paused it at 29 seconds. So the targets are arranged in a V, and there are IPSICs going up, USPSAs, whatever. They're IPSICs going up both sides, and they're blocked with whitey, right? The high-end performers chose, and I knew they were going to do it. They chose to burn the first 3 IPSICs down on the left, and then run the right side of the V. Just point shoot, and just run in the fucking line, right? And then they would take the last one on the left after they came up and made an L and came across the 180. That was how they wanted to run that match. I, again, terrified of the rules. I am very scared because of how I reload my pistol about reloads on the move running from right to left. So I'm always going to run a stage left to right if I can, so that when I get up to the top and turn, the gun is naturally pointed downrange. So I want to be speed reloading, moving left to right, as opposed to this kind of shit. Because that's fucking gamer stuff. And I'm trying to take my world and apply it within the rules. And if going right to left is just a better way to run the stage, then I'll do it. And I absolutely did some stuff like this because that's the way the target arrays were set up. But when I read this deal, it was pretty much mirror image going both directions. And I was like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna go up the center and then cut left. I did not take into account my full transition time and stopping and resetting my base. I thought I could do that quicker. And when I watched the video, I popped the first 2 on the left, stepped forward, which gave me enough vision to see the first guy on the right, turned 180, burned him. I can't remember if I burned his buddy next to him. I think I did. And then ran forward, took the last one on the right, and then went left. Or the third one on the right, and then went left. And that's all part of my plan. I wanted to go left and then get up into that corner so I could get those 2 poppers in the corner. All right, continuing on. Okay. Got to the top of the base. We're at 36 seconds now. Got to the top of the triangle there on the right, left side as I was running. On the left side. And there's the fourth of the IPSICs up the line that I needed to engage. I saw how slow the poppers were dropping, the big full-size popper, which was blocking part of the whatever they call the double Texas stars that go around, whatever, the ones that are connected where the base actually moves. So, especially the minor gun, I want to give that thing time to work. So even though I don't know a lot of gamer stuff, I've been around this kind of thing. And so to me, shooting, popping it, and then getting after the two baby poppers would give that steel time to do whatever it was doing. I don't think I lost a lot of time because it was a full-size popper. I think I would do that again if I had to. I don't think that was a bad choice. Okay. So now I'm about to hit play, and I'm leaning over to take the two poppers up at the top of the left corner. And then my plan is to run straight across the top. I've got the fourth cluster of IPSC, the two whiteys with the brown in the middle. No, I'm sorry. I think it was a 1-and-1. So I've got to take a low percentage shot over the shoulder, but I got to get in that corner anyway. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna get on it. I think I tried to shoot it too early, and then I slowed down. I think if I had to do that again, I would run and then I would run, plant it, burn them, and then turn and hit the two poppers. But we'll see. I'm about 4 seconds ahead of myself. Stand by. Reloaded on the move. No, that wasn't bad. Okay, I reloaded on the move. I'm coming across the top of the base, and there's a barrier in the middle. And I want to get just far enough that I can shoot both of the mini poppers without committing too far that way and then having to try to recenter myself to get the Texas stars. The two barriers were such that when the Texas stars were in certain positions, the plates would be unobstructed. So you can shoot 12 and 6 above and below those stars. So the further bladed you are, the more you are cutting down the angle that you can see through that. And so what you'll see is I went only far enough to be able to get around the barrier to shoot the two mini poppers. I shot the IPSC from there, and then I rolled in, burned those two, and then shifted my weight. And I think I shot to start the movement, and then I slid into the center to give me the widest field of fire. Let me double check that. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the plates went pretty good. I was cleaning it up, and then I got to the last one, and it swung down into the low position, and it was swinging to the left and right side with a support bar in between it. So it was going behind an obstacle, and I just got frustrated, but locked in on the grip and basically fired. You know, in the military, when we talk about shooting moving targets, you got tracking and trapping. I was trapping. And so I fired, started, and I fired 5 rounds and let it swing into my lead. Training scars from being a machine gunner, where you can just throw lead at the problem and let them walk into your stream of bullets. So that's what I did. And with the splits I was running, that didn't sound too fast, probably 0.2s, 5 shots a second. So I added a second to my score. Because I didn't want to play catch Freddy, I just parked the dot just offset from the support post. And as I saw it swinging in, bop, 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 and I fired 5 rounds until it came into my bullets. So 1 second of my 8-second efficiency was running the gun. Bang, 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 bang. put a lot more time on the clock with my gun. As I go through this, I think probably 10 shots, probably. I didn't fire any extra rounds on this one other than at the steel. I probably fired 10 additional alphas this match, where I launched a pill out there and I'm like, Charlie Alpha, but I don't know, bam, fired it again. And every time you do that, well, if it's in the middle of a stage, you're just slowing that down. If it's at the end of the stage or the last target, and there's one later on, I fired 5 shots at the last target. And the first 2 were alphas. So bam, 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 bam. And those splits sounded a little bit faster, like high 0.189, but maybe not. Maybe they were 0.21s, but 3 more 0.21s, half second. Boop, throw it right on the clock. Every time that gun discharges, that Pocket Pro, adding it up. So anyway, that is first stage. The only thing that I would have done different is the only thing I would have done different is the whole stage. Now I would have. All right, let's go back to the beginning. So.
Absolutely. Well, and working. Oh, you're ready.
Video starts at 20 seconds, by the way. All the rest of that is me doing some bull crap. So why didn't I shoot the third target? I only fired at the first 2 going up the left side, and then I stepped forward enough, got into the box that I could start engaging the right side. I had a fear that I was going to be afraid of movement. And I was like, if you step into this box and start trying to run the rack, everybody's going to look at you because you're taking longer shots that are going to take less, they're going to take more time to break. The shot cadence is going to slow down. And the gamers are going to make fun of you because you're not closing the distance and making easier shots that you can shoot faster. So in my mind, when I'm stage planning this, I thought that it would be slower to slew the gun and fire 2 more shots than it would be to get closer and shoot 2 more shots faster. I didn't take into account planting myself instead of shooting on the move. So that plan wasn't bad. I just added time. When I see how slow that was for me to stop, turn, and then step back and continue to move down the line. So almost 3 seconds. There's a little delay on my pause. So at 26 seconds, I've started shooting. I told you guys the match started at 20 seconds on the YouTube clock. So by 26 seconds, I have shot, drawn, fired a pair, moved into the box, turned, and moved further into the box, turned and fired another pair. I'm sorry, I got it. I missed one in here somewhere. Okay, yeah. So 26 seconds, I stepped into the box, 2 on the left, another 2 on the left, turn, closest 2 on the right, next 2 on the right, and I think I started moving at 27-ish. So 7 seconds just for me to get into the stage and engage the first 4 IPSCs with 2 rounds each. So, I'm telling you guys, the carry optics folks or the open guys, they stepped into that box and they fired pair up the left. And then they turned and just started fucking running. And they were just punching their arm out and firing two in between the white and moving the fuck out. And I just stood there and went, whatever, bro. Alpha Charlie, Charlie, Alpha Delta. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. They didn't care. They were also already down to the end of this bitch with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 8 Veed IPSCs done by this time. They were running, man. They were fucking running. I got nothing. And then, like I did, but going the other direction, after they burned 7 of the 8 targets, they turned, came down, and hit number 8 when they were going for the poppers on the far side. So, okay. We've been jacking our jaws now for 40 minutes talking about a stage that took a minute and 3 seconds of video. Took me, whatever I told you guys, 20-something seconds to do, 28 seconds to do. So that's all I got. Unless there's any comments from the peanut gallery real quick, I'm going to punch out and start reviewing the second stage. Questions, bitches, gripes, complaints? All right, fellas. I appreciate y'all for checking in on the live stream, and I'm going to post this up for the rest of the patrons now. All right. Take care, fellas. Have a good one.